Welcome to the Daily B Show with Matty B and Josie LeBlanc. Hey, g'day, Josie. We got beautiful Holly Loxton on today, and I'm going to be talking about the multi-potentialite life. So, is a term I come across just recently. Actually, it was a TED talk. I'll have to find it. And I'll put in the links, the bio to this TED talk that I saw, which sort of what introduced me to the term multi-potentialite. But it really gave. I will a bit more detail with Holly. Yeah, I'm excited to have a chat about this. I think a lot of people are in the same boat and don't even realize. Hey, how you doing?
Matty B, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can
Hello.
you hear me
Yeah,
okay?
of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Oh, you just,
Just
yeah,
got
thanks.
pressing.
Just right. So sorry, I missed the intro. What did you say?
All the amazing things. Just touching base about how we're going to be speaking on the multi-potentialite lifestyle, and just that there's a lot of people that are probably in the same boat but don't even know it. But yeah, and then introducing your fine self, hypnotherapist, rapid transformation coach, and all-round
Rapid.
fucking legend. But
Excellent.
for those that don't know you, how about you give them a quick introduction to yourself?
Okay, yeah. So I would have classed myself. I wish we'd had the term multi-potentialite when we were youngsters, you and I, because it would have been a
No.
lot, it would have released a lot of the guilt and shame that I felt about not knowing what I wanted to do at 14 years of age and being able to pick a career
And
path
24
at
and 34.
that.
Well, not 34
Well, I'm
yet,
not 34 yet, mate.
but many
Just slow
people are
down,
and
right?
still don't know.
Just slow down. Yeah, exactly. And they still don't
Yeah.
understand. So basically, I've always loved people. I've known that from a young age. I just haven't really known what to really do with that. So I've always ended up in service-based industries, especially, doing everything within hospitality and then being a personal trainer and then a massage therapist. I love the healing arts. And now I finally figured it out that I really love helping people bust through their limiting beliefs and actually create lives that they desire and deserve. So that is me in a nutshell now. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
freaking cool. It is really
So,
cool. And
yeah.
yeah, and so what are you going to think?
From not knowing what I wanted to do, I actually help people figure out what the hell it is that they want to do. Are we allowed to swear on this show?
Fuck no.
Excellent. Just so I don't
You
have
can't
to keep
control lives.
yeah, I don't have to keep censoring myself.
What does the Daily B stand for?
Believe,
Believe and
evolve,
express.
express.
Yeah, I can let it
Love
out.
it. Let it out. Let out the crazy.
Yeah, let out the crazy. Let out the crazy. So let's start with what the hell is a multi-potentialite and where does that come from?
Yes. So I think it was you that pointed it out. I actually saw this YouTube channel years ago, and this lady was talking about, what it meant to be a multi-potentialite. So basically, we're kick-ass. We're really good at a very broad range of things, but in doing so, it's then hard to choose what it is you actually want to do. And I know for myself now, if ever I felt restricted in a workplace, or like I had to answer to someone, or I was being disrespected or something like that, I would do any sort of mental and physical gymnastics to get out of that situation. It was not for me. So
Yep.
I am a terrible employee, basically. I'm unemployable.
Well, no, look, I don't think that is true. And for the short time we know each other, but what I'd challenge there is, and from my own experience, I'm drawing from now, is that I'm a really fucking good employee when I'm attached to something that I'm really passionate about or I'm really eager to learn.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then if you're also feeling in a situation where you're empowered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
it. But as
yeah,
soon as it becomes sort of mundane, monotonous, uninspiring, passionless, purposeless, it's like Later, bitches.
Yeah, I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, yeah.
See you, bye. And
Mm.
I think that's probably, yeah, that's, if I can look back on all of the jobs that I've had, and I've just had so many, and I know you're exactly the same.
Yeah,
If at any point I felt uninspired or like I wasn't going somewhere in it, yeah, it would just cause a lot of chaos, a lot of mayhem, and then I'd be like skedaddling.
yeah.
Yeah,
Either
so totally
self-sabotage
get
or
it.
just quit yourself.
Oh, yeah, self-sabotage to the max.
How many jobs do you
Um,
reckon you've had?
Within hospitality, so within hospitality, I have done everything from working in the shittest pubs you can ever imagine, like country town pubs, and then fine dining, and then events, and yeah, I was a skimpy for a while. That was really good fun.
Yeah,
And so just, yeah, within that particular role, it was just, yeah, so many different jobs. And then I've also, like I said, I've been a personal trainer, I've been a massage therapist. Um, I did admin for 2 weeks. That really, I hated that. So
uh-huh.
I couldn't do that for very long. It really depressed me having to get up and go into the city every day.
Let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to the skimpy, because this is we just sort of
I knew you were going to pick up on that if I
skipped
mentioned
across
it.
that. Well, I picked up on it because you mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing, right? That someone can actually be that expressive and that comfortable and believe in themselves enough to step into that type of work. But it is a sort of double-edged sword. I don't know that, but can you just in light of sharing with people how and what it's like to really believe in yourself and express yourself in such an open and vulnerable way, like what that was like in that space?
Yeah, sure. So being
And paint a bit
a
of a picture
skimpy,
for what they're doing. Yeah, sorry.
and what they actually do. Okay, so being a skimpy in this day and age is a lot different from, 1980 in Kalgoorlie. It's we don't they don't take their clothes off anymore. There's all sorts of restrictions and everything around it. Really, it's just bartending in bikinis or in, small outfits or lingerie and getting paid a lot of money for it, at least in Perth. So that was really interesting. And I found through that it was actually most of the guys that I ran into through that work, they were seeking connection rather than, obviously they want to go to the bar and have a look at a pretty girl not wearing many clothes. But at the same time, that's probably like for a lot of the guys that I ran into and had these really interesting conversations with, I just got the impression that, that was the only sort of female interaction that they really got to be seen and heard and
Yeah,
actually, have that solid interaction with. And they were really appreciative. So I had some phenomenal conversations with some really amazing men in that time. And
yeah.
it was, just being able to create joy and happiness for that, couple of hours that I was there, and then they can go home to, maybe a partner that doesn't love them or no partner at all. And especially for the
Yeah.
guys, they were, a lot of them were in construction and things like that. So they'd go out into manland all day and then they'd go to the bar on their way home, and then they'd just go home and sit and watch TV. So it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty interesting for that time. I wouldn't change it for the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, true. And so before getting into that, leading up to that, was that just sort of a natural progression, or was that something you sort of had to challenge yourself and prepare yourself for, or like how was the lead up to that?
It was a massive challenge. It was a huge challenge. So there's nothing
Yeah.
like having to get over your body image issues really fucking quickly. Like that'll snap you
Hmm.
right out of it. I was already a really good bartender from, my multi-potentialite work in hospitality, knowing how to work a bar. But yeah, going and doing that was, yeah, it was really scary the first few times. And then your customer conflict resolution skills really got honed in on.
Tested. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that
True.
was learning how to, because obviously, like, there weren't all amazing men. Some of them would turn up and be really sleazy and gross and just try to pick you up. Or there's a lot of guys there that were really wounded, and they would play games like who can make the skimpy cry and that sort of thing. And just like, you know, you'd turn up to work and be like, oh, you've put on a bit more weight since the last time we saw you, et cetera, et cetera. And so you really had to develop a thick skin.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
So my witty repartee served me well at those times.
Yeah, full on. How many jobs do you think you've had all up, if you had to pluck a number out?
Probably in different venues. Well, as when I was doing the skimpy work, it's a different venue every day. So if you could count that as one job, then probably in excess of about 25 to 30 other jobs in different venues and in different industries. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
what do you feel? Yeah, it was.
It's an interesting process to be feeling really listless and not knowing where you're going or what you're doing. I believe that people without purpose and passion will perish. And so being able to tap into that in my own self and figure out what the hell it is that I really want to do with my life, you know, it's like that instant out for depression.
So how did doing the skimpy work affect that feeling of purpose and passion for you?
Well, it's a bit of a trap, that world. So I did it for a while and I became a pretty good alcoholic, which was, I was really good at alcohol.
Very efficient.
For that time, very efficient at alcoholism for that time. And that was part of the reason why, because you're making all this money and then you're getting used to making that amount of money, but you don't have any goals or dreams or anything else that you're doing. So you get stuck in this cycle. And I know so many girls in that industry that they go, oh yeah, I just want to get in, pay off some debt and get out. And then 10 years later, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Because they just get stuck, you know, booking their shifts, and then it just goes week after week after week, and they don't ever look further than the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So like we were talking the other day about how it's just like a drug.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you, especially that sort of job, because you are turning up to a completely different venue with completely different people every single day, and then you're getting paid a lot of money as well. So it's like, and the shifts were always just short enough to not get boring. So it's like anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. You can do anything from 2 to 4 hours, right? So you know, you turn up, you can do it for 2 to 4 hours, and then you can bugger off. Yeah, it goes really quick.
Yeah, true. Okay, and so talk to me about the transition, the journey going from hopping around, jumping around, a lot of variety, a lot of inconsistency, into finding this desire and this passion for actually contributing and helping people break through their own bullshit.
Yeah, okay. So I had, in that time, I actually because I'd been on a bit of a spiritual journey before I went and did that. And I conveniently put everything in my blind spot while I was doing that. I was like, nah, don't want to deal with any of my shit. And it sort of spiraled out of control. In 2016, I went up to Karratha to open a restaurant for my dad. And it was incredibly difficult. It was incredibly stressful. Really, really stressful. At the end of 2016, we actually lost the whole thing. So the family business, my house was wrapped up in that. At the same time, I found out my husband was really using me for a visa. So I got rid of him too. And by the time I came back to Perth, I was 25 kilos heavier. I was really depressed. I was suicidal. I just lost everything. My family had lost everything. 5'5". Why?
I'm 6'3", and I put on 25 kilos, and that made me feel pretty hefty.
Yeah. So I was pushing 90 kilos.
And
Yeah.
you got your pictures of your weight loss per journey as well online, which is pretty
Yeah.
inspiring and pretty epic. Like
Yeah. I had to
one thing to
deal
put
with,
on, another thing to take it off.
yeah, absolutely. So, coming back from Karatha, I couldn't go back into skimpy work because it was not a good look. I had nothing to fall back on. I went back and started working at a bar. I ended up slicing my finger open and like damaging the nerves in my finger, so I couldn't do that. I had no license at the time, and I had no house. So I was actually riding my bike in the middle of summer to rental properties to try and put my application in.
How good is that?
Yeah, December 2016 was not amazing. But
To
then,
remember.
yeah, it was a time of intense growth.
Fuck yeah. Oh, so many learning experiences.
So many learning experiences and opportunities for growth. And then what happened was my best friend, who I was living with at the time, sleeping on my mattress in her spare room, she, I was just having mental breakdowns every single day. I wanted to end it all. She bought me a hypnotherapy course online,
Yeah.
which is rapid transformational therapy, which is what I do now. And in 8 weeks, it completely changed my life. So it rewired my subconscious. The way that Marissa Peer explained everything, and it just all made so much sense. I was like, right, okay, I actually need to start looking at this stuff again, because everything that's happening in my life is actually down to me. So it, yeah, inspired me to look into it further. And then I started doing hypnotherapy and NLP and life coaching and just absolutely fell in love with it. So that's my story.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And so what's it like being this newfound, like in this newfound life? What's it like being a coach? What's it like changing people's lives?
It is an intense growth period as well. So once you become a coach or a therapist or something like that, your growth doesn't stop. It actually accelerates.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you are well aware. It's like
What
you
are we
don't get
working
to
on
this,
together today?
yeah. You don't get this amazing plateau where everything, all your shit's sorted and dealt with. You just get better at dealing with it. And so
Yeah.
it's almost like more stuff and bigger stuff gets thrown at you so you can deal with that as well. And I truly am of the thought that we're always helping people out of the situations that we've just been in, or that it's very, very close period of time, because there's still an emotional charge. We can still understand how they're feeling, and then we can actually give them the mud map and give them the hand to get out.
Yeah, beautifully put. So what are you helping people with at the moment?
I'm helping people live lives that, okay, let me rephrase that. I'm helping people understand what is actually available to them. So so many people live life on autopilot. They've got their racing blinkers on, and they're just so what they've grown up with, and their conditioning and their programming tells them that only this much is available to them. So we help them take the blinkers off and actually go, holy shit, you're telling me that anything I want is actually readily available to me? I'm like, yeah, it actually is. Not kidding you.
Yeah. It's full on. Right.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool process because we clear out depression, anxiety really, really quickly. Once you give people something to go for, and you help them heal those inner wounds and traumas that have been holding them back and keeping them like this their whole life, then this whole world opens up to them, and suddenly they're like, holy shit, I can do whatever I want. And for some people that's scary, but I always ask them to choose, is it scary or is it liberating? It's up to you. You get to make that decision, no one else.
So fun when you really start to recognize how we get to choose and what we define things as, and we've got to choose our whole life. And I think some people just, what I was seeing is they don't want to acknowledge that it's actually been their choice, because when they recognize it's their choice, like, why the fuck have I been doing that? But
Yeah, but we don't get taught this in school. We don't get taught emotional intelligence in school, and you don't know what you don't know, right? So until
yeah,
someone actually opens up your eyes and goes, "Hey, you actually get to choose your feelings on this," and that's where NLP reframing or rescripting, as I like to call it, comes in. Is the fact that once you get these practices like ingrained into your subconscious, you actually get a lot better at it, and things get a lot quicker, and things get easier to deal with.
yeah, yeah,
And our
absolutely. What's some of the
personalities. Oh, sorry, you go.
yeah? No, it's okay. What were you gonna say? Our
I was
personalities.
just going to touch on, your personality. Like, as Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality, and our personalities are completely changeable and moldable at any given time. So, you're not going to be the same person you were 10 years ago, are you?
Yep.
Some people, but people don't understand. You can collapse that into the point as you don't have to be the same person you were 10 minutes ago. You can make these
Like,
decisions and you can make these changes really, really, really quickly.
start recognizing that there's actually a death and a rebirth in every single moment, and that
Yes.
yeah, nothing is actually the same ever. And when you
No.
start
The
to
only
manipulate
thing,
that in that fashion,
yeah, the only thing that's constant is change.
boom! Look at that! Slap that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
So tell me some of the people that you've worked with, some of the examples of yeah, some of the things that you've been able to help people do and get rid of and achieve and break through.
Ah, yes. So it's really handy, and I'm very, very lucky that I've got some very, very self-aware friends, and I've had some amazing mentors and coaches myself, because just having someone around, whether it's someone that you're paying or someone that you trust that has more emotional intelligence than what you do,
Yeah,
just having someone around to pick out your blind spots and go, hey, do you know that you actually do this thing? Do you
yeah,
know that you are behaving this way? Because we can't see it from the inside most of the time, because we've been doing this pattern and behavior for a long time. It's usually not until like crisis point that we actually go, holy shit, this behavior isn't serving me anymore. Maybe I should do something different.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should change. Um, Maybe the common denominator really is me in this situation.
I love that.
Oh no.
People complaining about all the things, and it's like there's one thing that's in all of those
Yeah.
stories. It's your face.
It's you. And that's such a confronting thing for most people, which is basically
Mm,
what I do with people. It's, we honor their feelings. It's really important to feel the feelings that you've got, because you need to allow them to pass through the body. Otherwise, they get trapped as trauma and pain, and it's just going to cause you, levels of stress and disease and all that sort of stuff. So, some of the things that I've helped people with is, suicidal tendencies, depression and anxiety, not knowing what the hell they wanted to do with their life. I helped someone really get in touch with, like, the subconscious stores everything, right? So through the process of hypnosis and through rapid transformational therapy, which is hypnosis but with a feedback loop, we got in touch with the trauma that happened in her childhood, and she was able to actually heal it from an inner child perspective, which is really, really healing. And I think the biggest thing that I do is probably give people permission to really be themselves. And we strip away all the parts of them that, people think all their patterns and everything are them, but they're not. So we pull away everything that is not serving them, that they don't want to keep, that is bringing all this shit into their lives. So at the end of it, they are actually more themselves than they've ever been. So
fucking
yeah,
cool.
that's the process.
Isn't it awesome though? Like it is full on how liberating it is taking people through that and being taken
Yeah,
through that. And
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
that's that constant evolution, like that evolution of our consciousness and that growth that we're just all on the same path. We've all got the same lessons to learn. It's
yeah.
just a matter of which one we're learning specifically right now for us.
Mm. And you'll get your bounce back points. You'll come up against something. You always come up against something. I still do. that is like,
Yeah,
oh shit, what is that? I don't want to look at that.
that's
But
it.
it's through through the
Do whatever makes your
process.
asshole sweat.
Yeah, exactly right. So, one of the biggest learnings that I've had through my life and that I now help people with is how to deal with shame. So,
Yeah,
shame is what binds us. It's what keeps us stuck to this, any patterns that are really destructive or addictions and shit like that. And so as long as we're shaming those parts of ourselves, those shadow sides, we're never going to get, we're only going to come so far. You've really got to learn
yeah.
how to show love to the worst parts of yourself so you can get the best out of yourself.
You know, that's where the fragmentation comes in. A lot of people are walking around, their head going this way, their heart going this way, and them just
Yeah.
freaking out because nothing's going the way they think they want to, but it is, but it's not. Because they're only owning and loving and being half of themselves. There's a whole nother part of them that they're just trying to kick behind them or throw away, and it's just dragging on them and holding onto them. And when we do embrace that, fuck me, like you fly like Superman.
And that's the whole part, the parts integration work of NLP, where you can understand that those behaviors and the things that you hate about yourself generally 9 times out of 10 are only there trying to keep you safe anyway. It's only because, they're only there out of a function of survival or love anyway. And so in that moment, you can actually go, holy shit, I don't hate that part of myself anymore. I don't have to wear a mask. I can actually just, take the mask off and show up fully as myself, and the right people will love me.
What was a part of you that you used to hate or not love and own?
Ooh, how long you got?
Well,
My self-loathing journey. I don't remember a time as a child or anything where I didn't completely hate myself. I had, like, from a young age, I had experiences with hurting myself on purpose. So if anyone else has, ever had issues with self-harm, I totally feel you. It's not a nice feeling
how'd you do it?
wanting. How did I do it? I did it I used to do Kung Fu when I was younger, and we used to have these bamboo sticks because we used to do like hardening techniques where it's actually, you're hitting each other or you're hitting yourself. It's like the iron fist technique sort of thing. And I got the bamboo sticks and I would take them home and I would absolutely flog myself, like almost like really, really badly, because then I could blame it on something. I never wanted anyone to know that I was hurting myself, but I could say, oh yeah, these are just bruises from Kung Fu. When really it was me crying in my room, beating myself up because I hated the person that I was and I didn't know how to change it. So I also, I cut myself a few times. I used to scratch my skin until it was raw and bleeding. And that was a really tough process for a child, and not understanding any of this stuff. If I had someone like me back then going, hey, guess what? It's not your fault. You get to change this. Then
Fuck
I
yeah.
would never, I wouldn't have had that problem. So that's basically what I'm doing now with my public speaking and that sort of thing, going through that process, getting really raw and vulnerable with people and saying, this is, it doesn't have to be this way. Your self-worth is just a program.
Why is it important to you to be that person for those in similar situations?
Because I believe that the awakening of the planet is not going to happen very well if people are still stuck in those stories. We can't move forward if we're always hating being the person that we are. It keeps us stuck with those blinkers on, and waking up can't happen.
How does it make you feel thinking of all the people that are going to benefit from the work that people like you are doing and not have to go through that same sort of self-torture?
Um, I think some people are still going to have to go through it because there's a lot of learning in it. But I do believe that the next generation of children, especially when we get more people, like part of my passion is actually helping other leaders and healers and stuff support themselves as well. And I truly believe that we need more healers and more practitioners and more coaches on this planet, not less. So if anyone of your tribe is watching and they're like, oh wow, yeah, I could really be a leader or a coach or a speaker, just fucking do it. Just go and learn what you need to learn. Learn how to process your own shit and get it done, because we need more people spreading the message.
Yeah, I think that what people don't realize is that they're doing it already in their own way. Like everyone's spruiking their own advice. People are, putting their two bobs worth in here and there. There's a saying, like, people are willing to give good advice, not many people are willing to lead a good example. And I think that's that journey of going within and really turning the mirror around and looking at it openly and
Yeah.
honestly, because once you start doing that work, your communication changes with people as you evolve, as you grow, and as you're able to raise your own level of awareness. So too is your awareness of others at that heightened space as well. And just the level of communication and the level of conversation is just different. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're all
absolutely.
life coaches anyway, whether you're telling someone to stop being a dickhead or you help people through a process to get to clear out some limiting beliefs. We're essentially just doing it at a certain level. So what level do you want to contribute? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And oh man, I had something to say on that note. I can't remember what it was.
It'll come back.
Damn it. It'll come
You
back.
got beautiful
It'll come
eyes.
back if it's meant to.
I was about to slip
Thanks.
that in there. They're mesmerizing.
Cheers, mate.
Had a few comments already. I just need to acknowledge
Um,
that.
so I don't know if anyone here, as we've been talking about numerology, you and I, in our off time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually a life path 9, which is all about integrity. So I had to, this is where the shame comes in. I had to look at myself in the mirror and I had to go, Holly, where the fuck are you being incongruent with what you're saying? And that was part of my journey last year. So at the end of last year, I thought, I'm not taking this person who I am being now, I'm not taking this into the next year. I am going to commit to show up exactly who I am at that very moment, always obviously evolving as we always are, but just committing to taking off the mask and being the authentic person that I am, warts and all.
Boom.
So in doing that, I've had so many messages recently of people just loving my content, loving my stuff, because just showing up gives other people permission to do the same. And the connection that I've had, the connection that I've had with people as a result has just been phenomenal. Like that next deeper level of connection is really, really cool.
The more you connect with yourself, the deeper your connection with others continues to get, yeah?
Yeah, and not shaming those parts of us. So, shame is it is what binds us. I'm 100% convinced of that.
Shame on shame.
Well, the shame is only there as a program to keep you safe as well, because it tries to keep you in the
shaming
herd.
on shame.
You're a loose unit. I love you.
So what do we then tell people that are still in that space, that still feel like they've got their feet stuck in the mud, that don't have any mirror around and just continuously looking outside of themselves for the answers, and the quicksand just getting deeper and deeper on them? What do we do with them? What do we say to these people?
That feeling of quicksand. Thanks for triggering me into that one. So I understand the feeling of quicksand, where you are struggling so hard to get out, and the more you try, the faster you sink, and it just feels like, and then you get shit thrown on top of you and all this crap and blah blah blah, and it's just like, oh, fuck this, I want out, I want to tap out. My biggest advice to anyone that is doing that or feels that way is to actually just stop. Stop everything.
Stop it.
Just, no, there's a really good YouTube thing, which I'll link to you later, which is hilarious. But no, just.
You got to put it in the comments here so everyone can watch it.
I'll put it in the comments. It's pretty funny. But just stopping, because your answer is in the stillness. So if you can come back to yourself and just put your hand on your heart, and this one I got from Matt Kahn, he's a legend, and just say to yourself, you know, I may not know how to love you right now, but I'm committed to giving it my level best every moment of every day. And just realizing that all the shame and the fear and the rejection and everything is just, it's just part of the story that your brain has put on repeat to try and keep you safe. And so getting back to that and just going, okay, well, if everything that I know about myself so far is just a story, I can put that to the side, you know, figure out where all the triggers and everything come from. Yes, but I can put that to the side and decide now in this moment who I want to be going forward.
Yeah, that's epic. And what you reminded me of as well is how much of a fucking idiot I felt like doing affirmations and standing there with my eyes shut and touching myself. And I'm like, man, this is stupid. But when I find that now the work that we're doing, right, and when I get people into that space and just hold that space and allow, sort of give them permission just to be okay doing these things that they haven't done before, so fucking powerful just for them to sit there in their own space, to allow themselves to just like go within and to hear their own voice and to feel their own feelings for a little bit. Yeah, it's really powerful. And I do remember feeling really weird about doing it to start with.
Well, I like to use a lot of metaphors when I'm talking to people, because when we're talking deep self-work and self-healing and stuff, it can get really heavy. So if I was to say to you, have you ever learned a musical instrument? Multi-potentialite?
I have multi-potentialite. I've started about 25 fucking instruments.
Yeah, I thought you
and I didn't become a rock star straight away, so I'm like, nope. Laters.
Exactly. Right?
I was playing a fucking euphonium at one point. Those big trumpety fucking things. Holy crap, man. I tried everything.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, I think I wanted to play the saxophone and then the violin. Same thing. I wasn't instantly good at it, so I was like, well, this is fucked. I'm going to give this one up. But what I say to people is, if you've ever tried to play a musical instrument and you didn't get it straight away, would you actually shame yourself for not being able to play Sweet Child of Mine the first time you picked up a guitar?
Yes, I did. But I wouldn't.
You did?
Anymore.
But you wouldn't anymore, basically. Yeah. So you can't shame yourself. You don't shame a child for not being able to run the first time it stands up to walk.
Yeah.
It's the brain learns by repetition.
I think you said poople.
And so that's, did I what?
I think you said poople.
Probably. The brain learns by repetition. And so that's why affirmations don't feel real the first time you say them.
Yeah.
And that's where people get stuck. They go, okay, so I'm saying all these affirmations, nothing's happening. I feel like I'm lying to myself. Well, yeah, you are lying to yourself because you're trying something out for the first time. You're trying something on. The key is to not give up the first time or the second time. It's like, if it took, how shitty would you be with yourself? How fucking pissed off would you be if you gave up at 300 times and it was 301 where it clicked?
Yeah, you'd be fucking pissed, eh?
I'd be fucking pissed. And I'm sure I've done that with so many things. I'm like, I was this close.
Absolutely.
I was 3 feet from gold and I was like, nah, not instantly good at it. And this is, again, it's part of the curse of the multi-potentialite, because we are fairly good at a broad range of things. If we're not, instantly good at something, we pick things up pretty quick. So if you're not instantly good at something, or you're not getting it straight away, we don't push forward.
No.
We just go, next.
Yeah. Find something else I'm good at and fun.
Yeah. What's something else I can do that actually utilizes, the skills that I've built? But it's that that quality of learning how to lean in,
Yeah.
I think. And when, when you've got purpose and passion behind it, that will give you the driving force to carry you through when you're feeling like you don't know your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But most people don't actually want what they say they want or what they think they want. When you distill it right down, when you drill it right down to the very core, which is always connection, love, feeling respected, feeling heard, all that sort of stuff, people don't really, they don't want what they think they want. And so because it's not a deep underlying belief, there's no emotional charge behind it. So of course it's not going to show up in their lives because they don't have enough get up and go to go chase it.
Yeah, I think the pinnacle is just love. When you break it all down, it's the singular point, and that's the word we've just given, that dot. That's that one thing that essentially everyone's after, and everything's done with a positive intent. Even even Hitler felt like he was doing something positive. His intent was a positive intent. So
one man's villain is another man's hero.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's full on.
And with the word love, like, I truly believe that everything in this life is on a spectrum. It's kind of like that strange loop thing we were talking about the other day. Once you get to the top, you're down at the bottom anyway. And the whole thing with love, and the way I explain it to people, is I truly believe that love is the power that can help heal humanity and bring the world together and everything. But on the other side of that spectrum, love is a chemical reaction in the body to ensure the survival of the species. So it has this huge potential for healing, but at its very basic core, it's also just this chemical reaction. That's just my take on love anyway.
Yeah, I like the metaphor that Leo Guru uses in actualize.com, where he talks about it being with metaphor of ice, water, and steam. And so there's this different sort of levels of love, and you've got so Hitler's love, right, is ice. It's really condensed, really, really solid, and it's in one space, and it's directed in one space, and you can't really penetrate it. Then the next level of love is like the general population, like, oh, I love my dog and I love my mom. I don't love the guy at work that sort of smells a bit funny, and I don't love the traffic because it pisses me off, right? But I love my sister and I love my friends this much, but I love my sister a little bit more, right? But so there's water, right? It's wishy, it's washy, it's up and it's down, it's fucking all over the place. And then there's steam, which is essentially just dissipates into everything. And it's recognizing that everything is just a part of the one fabric, that everything essentially is a mirror and a representation of ourselves. So if I'm going to practice self-love and love myself, well, then it's actually practicing to love everything and recognizing that the traffic is a representation, an opportunity for me. The stinky guy at work, the annoying person that keeps messaging me, the friends that don't call me back, whatever it is that sort of you think is just a frustration, and even the emotions, frustration, anger, fear, guilt, depression, like these things are all aspects of ourselves as well. So like you said before, like just stripping back away and helping each other own the darkness and the lightness as that whole. That was the most beautiful metaphor I've heard for it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think too that is one of the best side effects of doing this inner work. It warning, may cause compassion for others. It's like,
may cause extreme bliss and happiness.
So when you truly love and honor yourself in every single moment, and it is just a program, so you have to put it on repeat in order for it to sink in, but you just end up having this amazing compassion for where everyone else is at, and the traffic doesn't piss you off anymore. The person at work disrespecting you don't take it personally anymore. It's this incredible shift within you, and it's like, oh, actually, I don't have to take anything personally. This is great.
I've had a few conversations with people that are that I've either triggered or frustrated, and they're like
You're a
having
pretty
a crack at me.
frustrating guy, Matt.
I'm a pretty frustrated kind of a guy. But I'll just be sitting here smiling and just like in wonder, and they're like, "Why are you smiling? What are you smiling at?" I'm like, "It's just such a beautiful moment we're having." Fuck, you tripper.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do now without having that level of compassion, because people come in and they bring all of their baggage, every bad thing that they've ever done, and they've got all this shame around it, shame and guilt and everything. And in order to help them work through that, I can't have judgment for them.
No.
Because judgment equals shame. And you'll find that the people, if you know anyone really judgmental in your life, and I know we all do, there's people that, walk down the street, say, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's wearing that. Oh my God, I can't believe, whatever it is." The people that reserve
their own judgmental side.
Exactly. The people that are judgmental and critical of others always reserve the most judgment and criticism for themselves. Every single time.
Yeah.
And so when they turn it inwards, and it's scary for them. And that's where as a coach, as a leader, or as a therapist or whatever, you've got to be able to so that they feel held and supported. Because when people have that breakthrough and that realization that it's actually all about them, it can be really confronting. Yeah. And that's where there's like this two paths. People can either go sink way further into depression, or they can go into liberation.
Yeah. Yes, full on.
Yeah, you can't let them slide into the victim hole of misery, dude. You can't do anything from there.
And people, no, fuck no. People have asked me, like, how do you do this every day? Like, how do you take on all these stories and things like this heavy stuff? And it's like, well, you're looking at it like it's heavy and it's hard and it's this and it's that, and you see it as this big thing. But I don't define my world the way you define your world. I don't see the things that you see the way you see them. Like I really do have that unconditional love and compassion and acceptance and understanding for it. And so it's not a heavy topic. I could talk about the fucking weather, or I could talk about someone being raped as a child, and it still leads back to the same place. Leads back to what's going on within. And essentially down there, it's fucking beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I was going to say something else then. Damn it. Oh well.
It'll come
next
back.
time. It'll come back.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing, and it's just about giving people that permission, giving them permission to be themselves, because not everyone's going to like you, but you don't have to care. So it's like by being yourself, it is the fuck no. It is the best filtration system in the world. Showing up as you, it's just such a good filtration system, because the people that like you will be magnetized towards you, and you will repel the people that don't really like you. So you don't have to dick around for ages trying to be something that you're not in order to please these people that you want to please because of, the need for connection or the fear of rejection, which we're hardwired for, by the way. It's never going to go away. So, just take off the mask.
You do you, boo.
Yeah. Zero fucks.
Yeah.
Give less fucks.
Zero fucks. Yeah. Full on, eh? It's really cool. I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
So, last message, or actually, first of all, can you see the comments on your page or not?
No. Okay. How do I do that?
Hang on.
Here we go. Oh, that's a good feature.
Anyway, yeah, we got to that.
No, I can't see any.
Valerie, good to see you guys.
Oh, Holly Ryan was on. Hey, Ryan, just spoke to him. Hey, Troy.
Sarah, Jasmine, Roscoe, Amy.
Antoinette, hello.
what are you up to, and how can people connect with you? How can they work with you? Who would you like to work with as well? Because I think that's really important. And
Yeah,
what's coming up?
cool.
That yeah.
Yep, awesome. So I've got some big things coming up. So I'm starting my public speaking journey in Brisbane this year at the Fem Strength conference. That's going to be amazing. So I get to
Yeah, you
go
are.
play on the
Woo!
GC.
Congratulations.
Woo!
My town.
Yeah. So that's going to be really cool. I set an
Okay.
intention this year to call in my soul tribe of people. So that is
Here
clients,
we
that
are.
is, and here we are. It's amazing how this shit works. So that is clients, friends, and my team. So if you're interested in working with me as a team member, I am notoriously crap at technology. Please connect with me on my personal Facebook page and send me a message, because I have like hundreds of friend requests every day, mostly from strange Indian men. So if you
I
just
get the
send me
same.
an actual message, I know, right? What the hell? It's weird. So send me a private message or give me a wave and actually say, hey, look, I'm interested in working with you. I've opened up 2 3-month mentoring positions available, only 2. I don't have any time for more than 2 people, because I know how much time and energy and effort I put into my clients. So I've got 2 of those coming up. And other than that, just keep following my stuff. I will be showing up authentically and giving you guys all permission to do the same. I've got a
Absolutely.
few of my old clients on here. So, hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. A few of them watching.
Lovely.
Brilliant. Hey guys, good to
I'm
have
going
you
to
on.
introduce you to Lydia Sugarman as well, to help you out with your technology side of things. She's
Oh,
over in
really?
Silicon
Brilliant.
Valley, and she's got an
Awesome.
epic program that'll help, yeah, you and any other sort of coaches and businesses. Just well, because hey, Lydia, for chucking that in there.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
same. I think a lot of us healers and coaches and socialites are more so inclined in the technology of human behavior and psychology and interaction, not
Yep.
so much with the actual technology of the man-made variety.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And so in regards to healers and coaches, I'm doing some cool stuff with healers and coaches at the moment. So if you are a healer and a coach and you want to figure out how we can work together in some synergies, then and how I can best support you, then please reach out. I want to hear from you. If you feel like you like my energy, you like my vibe, you're digging it, you are part of my soul tribe, just reach out.
Sick. Love it.
Sick.
Uli.
Cool. Oh, we had a lot of
Well,
people on. That's good.
yeah, we did. They love it. A little bit of Holly in their life. So guys,
Awesome.
thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with myself and Holly. We do appreciate, love you lots, and look forward to catching you guys tomorrow. Reach out to Holly if you haven't already, and definitely hit her up, get some hypnotherapy, start looking within, hold up that mirror, and fucking dominate at life, as Holly loves to say.
Yes. Total life
Any
dominance with ease, grace,
total,
and flow.
booyah!
Boom.
Any any last messages you'd like to pass on?
Um, Self-love, guys. Just get it done every day, every single day, all day, every day. The more you love yourself, the more things is going to flow in your life, the more compassion you're going to have for others, and the more you'll actually start realizing your potential, which is fucking limitless.
And remembering that self-love extends outside of your physical being and to everything within your everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So anything that you want in your life, it's always going to start with you. Otherwise, you're just grasping at it, clutching at straws, and when you do actually get it, it's not going to fulfill you anyway.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Beautiful, guys. And I'm gonna I just had this idea of plugging. Remember what I told you about the enlightenment retreats and teaching people to become enlightened?
Yeah.
That's picking up. That's picking up steam. So I'm looking at putting on an event this year, guys, to teach people how to become enlightened. Um, it's pretty quick and pretty profound. So just keep tuned for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be epic.
jump into my GoFund page and help me get to Miami. I too am going to
Yep.
be launching my speaking gig in.
I
I'm
donated.
pretty. Yeah, you did. You're an absolute legend. So thank you for your support. Thanks everyone for your support. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Holly, love you
Thanks,
lots. I'll speak to you
Maddie.
soon.
Been a pleasure as always.
Cool.
See
See you
ya.
guys.